Hello and welcome to qualifying for the 2023 British Grand Prix at Oulton Park. This race was meant to be at first raced at the Circuit of Wales, but unfortunately for the second time the circuit was unable to be built. It was first meant to be built during MotoGP a couple of years back, but unfortunately didn't get built, and as we tried to get it done a second time for the Formula 1 race, again, it didn't work. We then tried to keep the race in Wales at the Anglesey circuit, but unfortunately the circuit wasn't good enough. So Oulton Park it is then for the British Grand Prix. And Pierre Gasly is the first one to go out on track. All clear as weather for this weekend, so thankfully no rain at all. I fly my commentary block, which isn't amazing. It's kind of getting in my face, but it is getting in my face, that's annoying. But your first competitive laps at Oulton Park are about to be set now. One of the highlights of this track, a very tricky chicane. If you go too wide in that chicane, you need to be careful because it's very difficult to not hit the inside wall. Another chicane, the second part, that corner there, you need to be careful not to go off there as well. Logan Sargent out on track as well. He's Red Bull of Sergio Perez. Him and his teammate Verstappen have not been up to scratch so far this weekend. And that's been quite poor, to be honest. Is that Perez only just coming out? I don't think it is Perez only just coming out. I think he's been involved in something, possibly. No. Okay, fair enough. Oh, hang on, no, he has been involved in something. Now Sergio Perez off the track. What happened there? Involved in something with the Alfa Romeo already. And what has happened here to Sergio Perez? Oh, the Alfa Romeo tries to get past him, and he spins off the track. I'm not really sure, to be honest, who I would blame that on. But unfortunately, Perez already involved in an incident as he lets his teammate Verstappen by, who's currently on the lap. Oh, Perez is off. That's Perez off in the wall. I look away for a split second and Sergio Perez crashes into a wall. Get a replay of that if I can press the button. Yep, thank you very much, half factor, for not registering the button click. Let's go on board with the Mexican. He's behind his teammate, or he just doesn't slow down. I'm very confused about that. What happened there? There's someone else off as well. Oh, they're all going off. They're all spinning. And that isn't great. The McLaren off in the background. I think the other McLaren went off as well. There's Perez shut the car off. I think Perez might be out here. Someone else off as well. Oh, they're still spinning. There's now Aston Martin off. McLaren. Oh, the McLaren's done a... No. To be fair, has kept out. And whoa, the Aston Martins. How close were they to colliding? And Sergio Perez, I think it stopped. And I'm very surprised I haven't called a red flag yet, to be honest. Because Sergio Perez is stuck on the middle in the chicane. And says, oh, there's an Alfa Romeo. They're all, to be fair, they both managed to keep going. And there we go, Perez back into the pits. Hopefully he can keep going later on. Bit like is Alonso, he's got no front wing. Anyone else with damage? Oh no, Alonso hit the wall. Logan Sargent looks fine, so does George Russell, the championship leader. I think it's only really Lando Norris. I think he might have had some issue. Verstappen, I think he was fine. He was in front of Perez and almost got taken out by him. Nico Hülkenberg, 2 podiums. He's lost in 2 races, one through an engine issue and one through an unavoidable collision with Lance Stroll, who we're on board with now. Lance Stroll wanted to pit, Hülkenberg didn't want to pit. and Stroll just turned into him, into the pit entrance, unfortunately. Let's see, can we go on board with... Oh, who's that gone off? That might be Perez. Is someone off? Who was that went off? It's one of the Red Bulls. Oh yeah, I think it is Perez, you know. Just fly, why not go away? On board with Perez is... Oh, what is Perez doing there? Has Perez out, and he's taking Piastri's front wing with him. And he's lost his rear wing and his rear left tyre. What is Sergio Perez doing there? He just reversed right in front of the McLaren. But very quick repair job from the pit crew. Able to get Perez back out straight away. Perez down in 19th place. Not the best race at the moment for Perez. But always onto the grass. Coming out of the pits. He gets back past whoever was behind him. I actually didn't even notice who that was, to be honest. Not the best. I think it was only Aston Martin. Yeah, it was. As that hairpin is slightly banked as well. It reminds me of the carousel on the Nordschleife. Unfortunately, F1 probably never go into that circuit. Not just because of the safety factors, but because of the rules of the series mean that only circuits that have held an F1 race in the past cannot hold a race. Which is why we're not going to your regular circuits on the normal 23 calendar. And also one of the reasons why we can't go to a circuit like Donington Park, which in my opinion is the second best racetrack for F1 cars, behind Silverstone. And of course Brands Hatch also unable to be raced on, but I don't think that would work for F1, to be honest. It's a bit like Oulton Park as Perez gets on the curbs a bit there. Let's see where he's going to put the car. Let's go on board with the Mexican through this flat out, maybe not flat out, I think you have to lift a little bit through this corner. Yeah, the smallest of lifts is a hard braking zone into the hairpin. Not really getting much throttle through the entire corner, only a little tap of throttle possibly. As you go through the chicane now, hoping not to hit. Oh, Perez, he's hit the wall. And that's the second time that he's lost a tyre. And I think that might be Perez. Can the mechanics repair his Red Bull again? I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's all the cars pass by. Oh, pass by. That's Hulkenberg off. More one of the Haas cars. I'm not sure which one it was actually. Is anyone else going to be involved in anything? Car coming past now. That's an Alpine who's hit the wall as well. Oh no, that is, he's lost his front wing. It's Ocon who's hit the wall. No, that's still the Haas's tyre. Here's an Aston Martin, and he's done the exact same with Fernando Alonso as Esteban Ocon. To be honest, it's not like Perez is actually on the track, so I don't get why they can't avoid it. Clearly Perez can't do it, he's already hit that wall twice on his own. Now the McLaren, I think the McLaren lost the tyre there. No, he kept going. Did he? I have to rewind that because I actually can't tell if he kept going. Nah, that wasn't the McLaren's tyre. He just lost his front wing but managed to continue. Perez still there, not really sure what he's waiting for. Don't know if he's going to get it back into the pits or not. We're going to find. There we go. He's next. AlphaTauri. Did he hit anything there? No, I don't think he did. Or maybe, there you go, Perez back into the pits now. Not really sure what I was waiting for, to be honest. But straight away, very quick repair work from the Red Bull crew to get him out. Was it Hulkenberg who crashed? Yeah, it was Nico Hulkenberg who had that off. Oh, Perez on his outlap. He cannot catch a break in the Red Bull driver. Oh, Perez, Checo. Stay on the tarmac, Checo. As he makes the corner, finally does the chicane. And next weekend is Red Bull's home Grand Prix. For the Austrian Grand Prix, not at their home track, the Red Bull Ring. We're at the Salzburg Ring for the first sprint race of the season. The first sprint was meant to be the German Grand Prix at the Leipzig Ring a couple of weeks ago, but due to some issues with scheduling, the French Grand Prix took its place, and the German Grand Prix took the French Grand Prix's place, which is 2 weeks after Austria. And that is also a sprint race. The Leipzig Ring, the first time F1 has been to a speedway since Indianapolis, and I believe probably 2007, I don't know, when F1 last went to Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course. Of course, Leipzig Ring will also be the road course. And something tells me that next weekend the Leipzig Ring will be a bit like Oulton Park, with these fast corners and that slow chicane at turn 1. In my opinion, is just like that chicane, or maybe more like Monza's, because Monza's does work, to be fair, but Monza's also doesn't have that barrier on the inside, so these things happen with barriers being randomly placed in places. Yes, it is to stop track limits, but is it worth just giving them a penalty instead of ending their race, as this fly will not leave the commentary box, even though the window is wide open, right next to me, both windows. Clearly incapable of leaving. Oh, Perez cut the corner there a bit. Perez back into the pits, clearly not happy with the start of that lap. With 9 minutes to go, Checo Perez needs to get a lap in. And he needs to get the lap in fast. Or it will be not very good Saturday on the British Grand Prix for Checo Perez. Checo was involved in one of the best battles we've had in the era of these cars. In the British Grand Prix last year at Silverstone with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Speaking of Charles Leclerc, P6 currently, he's also in the pits. Alex Albon's out on track in the Williams, heading up the start to finish straight. I know he's not. He's near the end of the lap now. As Albon comes into the pits now. A respectable qualifying for the Thai driver. Pole position in Misano and P7 now in Oulton Park. It's Nico Hulkenberg, of course. The only driver out of qualifying at the moment. Lando Norris in P19. And currently P20 is Nick de Vries. Hang on, where's Checo? Oh, Checo's on pole. I didn't realise he actually did a lap, to be fair. Sergio Perez is currently on pole, and I'm going to rewind to when he set that lap so you can watch his pole lap. Is it this lap? But this lap, let's go on board with Checo. So Sergio Perez is currently on fastest. You want a little lift through this part of the track. And even less of a lift than his first attempt at it. And then towards the chicane, he's already crashed twice here. Pretty clean. Oh, bit on the AstroTurf there. He didn't really want that. And now down towards the final corner and up the hill towards the finish line. Where's this lap going to put him? It's going to put him on pole. Don't know why I asked where it's going to put him. I thought that was his out lap, but obviously not. We'll go back to live coverage. Perez still in the pits. Who is there to watch? Let's try find someone that isn't. George Russell's going out on track. So let's watch him. We have seen in these qualifying sessions that not many people set laps towards the end of the sessions. Not too sure why. It probably is a good time to start setting them. But oh well. George Russell, did the engine cut out there? Yes, it did it? Yeah, I think it did. I think he's out of fuel. And we saw this in Aragon, and we saw this in Misano. Drivers keep running out of fuel. I'm really not sure why this keeps happening, but George Russell pulls over. Now it's his qualifying done. And with 5 minutes to go, I'm not sure we're going to get any more laps in, to be honest. If Verstappen goes out on track. So let's watch him. Verstappen, his engine doesn't cut out like George Russell's did. And it is quite common around this time that we do see the cars pulling over the side of the track out of fuel. I'm not entirely sure why, but is Verstappen going to stay out, or is he going to do another lap? He goes around the final corner now. Where's this lap going to... I don't know why I'm saying that, because... Oh, big wobble as he goes into the pits. And I think that's qualifying done. Let's pleasure ourselves and watch some cars go around the track. Oh, Lewis Hamilton, the second Mercedes to pull over with fuel issues. That's quite surprising. As soon as that... Someone going down the front straight. Oh, Carlos Sainz just pulled off as well. In the middle of the track. Unfortunately for him. And he's the third person to have fuel issues. In these final parts of qualifying. Nick De Vries out on track. He's currently last on the grid. How can he do? don't think he's... Oh, that's a... off there. I don't know what happened there. Is that Joe Guan Yu? It was an Alfa Romeo. And an Alfa Red Bull. It's not Joe Guan Yu, so it's Valtteri Bottas. Oh, there's a big fire there. What on earth has happened there? Go on board with Bottas. It's Sergio Perez again at that corner. What's happened to the Mexican? For the third time he crashed out of the corner. The provisional pole sitter. This is what happened. Oh, he's just on in the middle of the track and he goes right into him with a... He's already got on fire, so is that an engine issue for Perez possibly? It could possibly be an engine issue for the Mexican. Go on board with Perez, see what happened to him. Oh, he's already gone off. Let's see what happens on board with the Mexican. Oh, this goes in too deep. Possibly an engine failure. And then, oh, he's already on fire. I don't know how that fire... Sorry about that. How that fire is caused, that is very scary for Perez. He's going to want to get out of that situation as soon as he can. If the checkered flag is now out and qualifying is over while we watch these replays of this incident between Perez and Valtteri Bottas. And there is a McLaren getting safety out of it. There's Perez off into the pits. Oh, no, he's gone back out. Maybe something's happened, but we are now live coverage. Not long left of qualifying. And Perez is going to go around the final corner. He might... No, he hasn't got time to set a flying lap. So he's going to come into the pits. And that'll be... Ooh, hit the wall there. But that is qualifying over for Perez. So here is your grid for the British Grand Prix. Lando Norris is at the back, Hulkenberg in 19th after crashing out, Ocon 18th, Alonso 17th, Piastri 16th, De Vries 15th, Sargent 14th, Joe 13th, Bottas 12th, Hamilton 11th, Lance Stroll 10th, Yuki Tsunoda 9th, Magnussen 8th, Albon 7th, Leclerc 6th, Bottas 5th, Verstappen 4th, Championship leader George Russell in 3rd, Pierre Gasly 2nd, and Sergio Perez is on pole. Thank you for checking this out, and make sure to check out the race tomorrow. Same time, same place. You know where to be. See ya.